What is a motherboard? A motherboard, also known as a mainboard, system board, planar or logic board, is a printed circuit board, PCB, used in all electronic computers that houses all of the system's essential components, including the central processing unit, CPU, and memory, as well as peripheral connectors. A motherboard is a PCB with expansion capabilities. The term mainboard refers to systems that have only one board with no other expansions or capabilities. The motherboard serves as the backbone of the computer, connecting all of its components and allowing them to communicate with one another. Without it, none of the computer's components, such as the CPU, GPU, or hard drive, could communicate with one another. Overall motherboard capability is required for a computer to function properly. At motherboard, the total width and length of the AT motherboard are 12 inches and 11 inches, respectively. Since the drive bays are hanging over the motherboard, the full AT had trouble accessing some of the things on the motherboard. Because of this, installing and troubleshooting the motherboard's components was extremely difficult. Another issue with the full AT board configuration is that the expansion cards, once installed into the devices, will cover the processor. Baby AT system board. Until recently, the Baby AT system board form factor was one of the most popular motherboard types. The Baby AT motherboard measures 8.5 inches wide by 10 inches long. The Baby AT motherboard may be identified by the DIN keyboard connector located in the top right corner of the motherboard. The Baby AT board was roughly 2/3 the size of the full AT board and included a socket 7-ZIF slot for classic Pentium processors. ATx Board. All of the I/O ports, including USB ports, are built directly into the ATx board, which measures 7.5 inches wide by 12 inches long. The ATx board added a 100 MHz system bus, while older Pentium boards had just one AGP slot for video cards and ran at 60/66 of a megahertz. The ATx board also had soft power support, which enabled the operating system to shut down the system. By now we all know that the motherboard is the main circuit board in the computer unit. The components inside the computer unit and the peripherals outside the unit are all connected or may be attached to the motherboard if required. All motherboards have sockets, male and female ports to connect either peripheral or components. Some ports are located outside of the computer chassis, and these external ports are mainly used to connect peripherals such as keyboard, mouse, monitors, speakers and microphones. The internal slots or expansion and ports inside the computer chassis mainly connect the storage drive, DVD-ROM, power supply unit, PSU, random access memory, central processing unit, CPU, etc. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, till next time.